the fact that he is macroing up like this. Now we also have Pre-Igniter and Vehicle Weapons level 2 already. Now this is going to be pretty nasty because already a lot of tanks being stationed here. Plus the Thors, these Mutas going back home, not much they can do. And what's he doing with the Overseer? The Overseer's just going to die for nothing. I'm not sure I agree with that. He did he was contaminate here. But not really worth losing your Overseer. I think he should just move his Overseer away after that. No point just leaving it to die. And let us see if there's gonna be anything else. Oh, and we have Neuroparasite on the way. Goody. Neuroparasite and some Infestors coming out. Neuroparasite is great against Thors, but what you need to be careful with is that you actually get the Neuroparasite off properly, as in you don't just send your Infestors in there to die. Oh look, I got Infestors, I'm gonna Neuroparasite your ass, because those Infestors are extremely vulnerable, and you need backup. You need to like flank with them. You need to make sure that the other units are getting the focus fire. If you're just gonna move in there, oh, and these Mutas, ouch. One Muta going down there, another one almost dying. So you don't really want to do that with your Infestors. You want to make sure that there's something else taking the fire while you try to pull off those Neuroparasites. It's a really tricky ability. It's a really great ability, obviously great against targets like Thors, but yeah, I mean, you gotta pull it off right. And if there's tanks on the field, like he's also making a lot of tanks, then that means you can't really do much against this army, because those tanks are really gonna pummel your Infestors. If you try to Neuroparasite, it ain't gonna work. So you have to think about something else. You have to be really smart and really tricky with that Neuroparasite ability. You have to like, actually, what's really nice and what you can do is just borrow your Infestors and then just spew out like tons of infested Terrans from underground, and just have the tanks and Thors being disoriented. Focus fire on that army, then send some Zerglings and stuff like that in, and then borrow your Infestors and get the Neuroparasite off. Now we have a fourth base going up here for Lalush, and right now we have Zerg missile attacks level 2. This is obviously for the Roaches. No Hydras on the field yet. More Roaches on the way, and we have like pure mech for Goody. We have tanks. Thor's gonna take a look at the army size and the unit counting station. Like 6 Thors, 6 tanks, 1 Viking, 1 Raven, 9 Marines. And this is gonna be pretty nasty. See a push going down over here. Let's see if this is gonna do the trick. No, not really much happening over there. Goody also taking his third expansion on this side, close to the middle of the map. But let's see, we have a lot of Infestors here with Neuroparasite. That's 8 Infestors. That's really great, but I am taking a look at the supply. He only has 150 supply, which means he's gonna need a lot more stuff to break through the army, the mech army that Goody has right now. He has like 2 weapon upgrades. That's huge. I mean, look at the damage of these Thors. 36 times 2, that's 72, so that's huge. These Thors are gonna do so much damage, and I'm not sure. It's all gonna come down to the usage of the Neuroparasite. I mean, if he gets those off and they stay on the Thors, then the Thors are gonna really wreck the entire thing. But there's also a lot of tanks and Helions here, actually. A lot of Helions with Thermal Pre-Igniter. And we have a lot of Zerglings here, and these Zerglings ain't gonna do anything against this amount of Helions. And here we go, the Helions. Oh, and look at that, and not really funny. Ouch. And Helions actually wounding a lot of Zerglings, and you see how many just got killed over there. Also, this Raven is gonna make it so that all these creep tumors go down. Another preemptive scan going ahead. And let's see when he decides to siege up his tanks. He has no Banelings. I mean, Banelings would be great in this situation, but here we have the Infestors moving in, and Neuroparasite, but Neuroparasite on the tank, not really what you want to be doing. Also some Neuroparasite over here on these Thors, but the Neuroparasite is breaking, and now the Thors are free, and they're wreaking havoc. I mean, the Infestors all got killed by the siege tanks, so that's exactly what you don't want to do, like I said before. And I really don't see Lalush in a good position right now. Overlords are going to die. He needs to move these away. He doesn't really have an army left. He's making 27 Roaches right now. You can see the power of the Zerg. And if that army is gonna break through these Thors and these tanks, then that's gonna be it. But I'm not sure if this can actually make the difference. There's a lot of Thors here. There's a lot of weakened tanks, and Another weakened tank there in the Thor, and he's really trying to do something about this. He has like units being rallied from all over the place. A Neural Parasite on that Thor, and this tank doing a lot of damage. He cleaned a lot of stuff up, but still so many tanks. I mean, 4 tanks still here, and no, 5 tanks. 5 tanks, 3 Vikings, and 2 Thors, so this is really not enough. Another 15 roaches on the way. He's really trying, but he lost so many drones. I mean, even if he does pull this off, he's gonna have to... Okay, so he has a few... it's those tanks in the back there, and he needs to be very careful with this unit micro. There we have roaches coming from all directions, but they're getting attacked by the tanks and getting killed, and... let's see what these roaches do, and what is he doing? We says not be careful with these roaches. Oh my god, and a little bit more care over there. Here we have more tanks coming. Where are all these tanks coming from? Seriously. And another tank going down. Some roaches here, but these tanks are already deployed, and if this expansion falls, it's going to be really hard. I mean, Goody right now is throwing everything he has at the Zerg player. He took out his natural, he wants to take out this as well, and these roaches are just marching into their doom. I mean, you can look how much damage these tanks are doing. 2 sieged up tanks here plus those, and now he sieges these as well, and it's gonna be just so bad. And there we see Lalush actually quitting the game, and actually a GG coming out, so I guess that's the way replay was made. A glitch over there, but a good game from Lalush. Great idea, great intention with the Neuroparasite. It just came down to the execution. I mean, should have worked on the execution a little bit more, and I think he'd be fine. I really think he should have went in that position, even though there were a lot of Thors up there. Just send some roaches in and stuff like that, and try some Overlord drop from the side with Balings on. Should have had some Balings, I don't know. Balings are still really great in that situation. Anyway, he should have just had a little bit more army to back up those infestors. I mean, infestors were still exposed to the siege tank damage, and Banelings do huge damage against siege tanks, especially when the splash damage from the siege tanks hits as well. Now, I don't know, Goody did a great game, as in he just pumped a lot of mech, and I'm surprised to see him actually take this series. He pumped out a lot of mech because, I mean, he just went all in for it. He upgraded 2 level 2 weapons and level 1 weapons as well, armor. I mean, for his mech, and just got so many tanks and so many Thors with a lot of pre-igniter Helions, and that was really smart because these Helions deal great with the Zerglings. So the Zerglings just died off, couldn't do really anything, and that's actually what Lalush was counting on. Those Zerglings getting surrounded on Thors and tanks while the Neural Parasite kicks in, and he can do the damage he needs, and also with the help of his roaches. But the Zerglings being completely useless because of these pre-igniter Helions, and versus light 28, you can see how much damage it actually does. So 2 of these Helions will one-shot a Zergling, and they have splash. So overall, I'd say a pretty steady macro game from both sides. Like look at this, 4 factories and 5 with this one. No add-on yet on it though, and good macro from the Zerg player. It was really close. This was really close. Lalush almost had this. Maybe with a little bit of grouping of his units, he could do something. I mean, the Raven was dead. He should have just... Smartest thing to do would be to just borrow those roaches and get them all together in one place, not have them die like they did, like 1, 2, 3 roaches at a time dying like that as they were rallying from bases. I know it's hard to do, but it's really something that could have saved his game over here. Just have him group up in his main or something like that, and then move out all together with like 20, what was he making, like 30 roaches, you know, and he made some more after that. So with that, he might have been okay. I'm sure he could have stomped those Thors and tanks, especially if he'd wait for a time when the tanks weren't sieged up. So overall, I think a really enjoyable game for the 5th game in the series, and congrats to Goody for winning the final. And if you like what you see, then do subscribe. And again, apologies for the previous submitting of this video, which had no sound. It was really weird. I have no idea actually what happened over there. Anyway, it's going to be fixed on this one, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned for more videos.